Hey guys, good morning. I'm Dr. Kamal Woods. I'm a board certified neurosurgeon and a minimally invasive spine surgeon. I wanted to show you a bit about what my day entails. So I'm going to get changed for surgery and I'm going to have you guys with me here today. Welcome.
This first case that we're about to do is a 74-year-old guy who has got a neck issue, and he's got two bulging discs, one at C4-5 and one at C5-6, and they're both pinching the spinal cord, and he has what's called cervical myelopathy. And the classic things with cervical myelopathy are people have unsteady walking, their hands get weak and clumsy, and they can develop urinary urgency where they have to rush to get there on time. And he's got all of that going on. So once we clean this all out here today, you'll see that in surgery, we're gonna put an artificial disc, which I've got a model here of the artificial disc. It's got two halves to it. Each half is made of titanium. It's what's called a ball and trough design, and once the device is in there, it allows for motion to happen. So that's gonna be really cool. I'll be able to show you under the microscope as we're cleaning everything out. I'm looking forward to doing that. Knock, knock.
Hello.
Good morning. I'm just about ready to get things started here, but I just wanted to see if you maybe had any questions for me.
No, the nurses kind of filled me in mostly what's
Okay. All right, good. Yeah, perfect. All right, so there are two discs there in your neck that we're gonna get fixed. And we'll take the pinching off of the spinal cord. And then once we have all that cleaned out, then we'll put an artificial disc at each spot to maintain that movement of your neck. All right?
All right.
Okay, good. I will see you in there soon.
Okay. So they said the anesthesiologist is going to come in.
Yeah, he's right behind.
Oh, okay.
And when I get done, I'll come out and find you ladies. All right? Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yep. Let's go back and look at the MRI and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had any problems with any seizure?
Every morning, I see the patient and, make sure the consent is done, and I talk to them and see if they have any last-minute questions. And one of the key things I want to do is just look at the MRI, because it's sometimes been weeks or months since I've seen that MRI. So I want to look at that MRI, look at their chart, and make sure that we've got fresh images of what we're going to do in there. So we can see this is not the best quality MRI. It's a little bit blurry, probably because of movement. But there's some bulging of the discs, those two discs right there. That's the disc between C4 and 5, and between 5 and 6. There's some bulging there. You can see that significant bulging, and to a lesser extent up top. So, but we're only going to address the two. So what's going to happen is, in a little bit here, usually our anesthesiologist and nurse will go out and get the patient, and we'll get them in and get them intubated, positioned on the table, and ready for surgery. So you saw Kara's already got everything set up. She's getting the microscope ready there now. So, yep, we're just about ready for prime time.
Oh, so you're driving again?
Yeah, exactly. No speed racing. Yeah.
I don't think that's fine if you're worried. No, you will not.
You'll have to go up towards the head a little bit.
Up towards me about an inch or two.
And the gurney is going to go away on that side. All right, so we got him intubated there. Now he's going to be asleep. Okay, let's try to... I doubt we're going to have to tape his shoulders down. I doubt we'll need to, but we'll see. We'll get in position, and then we'll take an x-ray, and we'll see what's going on. So I'm going to loosen this here for now. And let's double check all of our everything else, and we'll get this back on him in a second. I think I like that better than where he was, so
Gives me a little more room here to kind of get the extension I want. All about the music, man. We got to get some tunes going. All right, well, let's get some x-rays. Everybody covered? Yeah? Okay, good. Let's get an AP x-ray. Okay, let's get an x-ray. Okay, let's go more towards the head. Okay, lock it there. All right. Come in a little bit closer towards me. Okay, and down towards the feet a little bit. The whole machine towards the feet. Okay. All right, good. I think that's a good enough picture there. That worked. Let me get a metal object in there. And we're gonna make a mark. Let's see if we went right here, X-ray. Yeah, so that would be a good crease to use to do it. So our prep solution is chlorhexidine, so we're gonna prep the area. Solution that's mostly alcohol, actually. Take it through the scrub.
Started at 8:12. I have the time here. Oh, did you hit it? I did hit it. You want me to tell you a little more?
Okay, this stuff is called Ioban. It's got some iodine in there. And it helps to protect the bacteria in the skin from prevent those from getting into the wound. So it's a good barrier. That's why you're like wondering if they won that game and it's against the Steelers, you just never know what could happen, right? But then, yes, such is life. Okay. All right, let me get these off here. So what I'm gonna do here first is I'm gonna inject 10 cc's of lidocaine. So I'll go ahead and do that here now. Okay, so what we'll do is get an x-ray. We'll see if this disc here is one of the ones that we need to operate on. That's the disc space right there. And we'll need to get an x-ray to check that. You probably will need to back up with the microscope. Okay, let me see. I think I need now. Let me try the Carson 3 first. Okay, table down. I'll take a lap from you. Okay, let me have you go on that side. What happened to our music?
Somebody called.
Oh. You thought I was kidding when I told you part of your job is to be the DJ.
Yeah. Yeah, this never happened when Emily was here.
So these blend really nicely into their skin creases. We all got some skin creases in our neck, so we kind of plan these incisions so they blend into that quite nicely, and you don't really see them after they heal in a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we got next. So usually I get over here and just check the paperwork, make sure we got the consents all good, and get consent signed. It is 10:37. Okay.
So now we have the chance to treat a little bit of a different problem. This next one coming up is going to be an SI joint fusion. So The sacroiliac joint is this joint. This is the sacrum, and this is the ilium. So it's that joint in here where the ilium and sacrum, or sacrum and ilium, meet. And that joint can become painful. There are certain patterns of pain that people have. It's usually localized to that area in the upper buttock, usually worse with prolonged standing, with prolonged sitting, and also with changing from sitting to standing oftentimes. There's some overlap with some hip complaints that they can have. So one of the things that we do is we'll inject that joint with lidocaine to numb the joint and to see if they get better. And if we can do that over and over and reproduce that even with steroid, then we're usually very confident the pain is coming from that joint. So today we're going to go ahead and fuse that joint, which means we'll put 2 screws across there. I don't have an example of the screws, but they'll go through the bone, the ilium, and into the sacrum. And you'll see that in surgery. That will give that joint some stabilization and should help with her pain. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. What we'll do today is we'll put 2 screws across the SI joint to fuse that joint.
Okay.
Once that joint becomes solid and is no longer able to move and cause pain, we should be able to eliminate most or all of that pain associated with that SI joint problem.
Okay.
All right, so what we'll do, we'll go check on the room here and see if they're ready, then we'll get ready to roll on back. So let's keep this day moving.
Do you play sports in high school, college?
Me, I did. I played cricket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I grew up in the Caribbean, also known as the West Indies, and cricket is very popular there. She's got an allergy to Augmentin, and she got some antibiotics.
She did. She got 2 so.
All right, our SCDs are turned on.
They are.
Okay, grounded,
Yeah.
strapped. Got implants. Okay, we're doing the right side, correct? Right SI joint fusion. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, good. Everybody agrees? All right, let's get a spinal needle here. Okay, go ahead. Picture. All right, good. Go down towards the feet. This way. Okay, good. X-ray. All right, good. Let's bank. Okay. All right, let's bring your angle back to, with the rainbow, to like neutral. 90 degrees.
Yeah, okay.
The best is when you get a good contralateral oblique and you can do everything with that. That looks fine. Yeah, that looks good. All right, let me get a guide wire here. I got some good bone there, actually. You can scoop that bone out and you probably can use it to help with the fusion. With this technique, you know, we're able to make the incision really small. And this applies to a lot of minimally invasive surgery. And then we can drill, and then we place wires down, and the wires allow us to go back down the same path. So we don't have to open it up to be able to see where we're going, and using the X-ray. So that's really one of the fundamental premises behind MIS surgery: small incisions, using wires and X-ray to guide us back into the same spot. All right, so this is the screw here, Adam, that we're going to use. And it's packed with bone on the inside. Some of the bone was from the patient herself, and some is from cadaver bone. And I'm going to put that across the joint, and that's going to allow us to fuse that joint. Okay, extra. Okay. X-ray on either side, pretty good there. Okay, so that's a good one. Save that picture here. Save that one for me. You got it?
Yep.
Okay, X-ray, and save that one for me. All right, good. Let's go to lateral, and we're going to redo the same thing here. I got that. So that's one screw, and we put 2. It helps to create more stability. Things can't rotate as easily that way, and so we'll repeat these steps. Let's see, you got to go down on your height there. Looks like I could make that work. Find out when we go to the other X-ray. All right, let's try that. Let's go around. but just save that one. Let's see if you can get a contralateral picture. Rotate the rainbow over. That top one, maybe without the power. Just give me that screwdriver and... Okay. That's all she wrote.
Another one down.
You're probably good for now, yeah. Neurosurgery were really two things. One was that I had a chance to do research in between my first and second years of medical school. I did some research on chick embryos, and it was not on anything neuro, but it allowed me to operate with the microscope because we had to open the eggshell and we had to do surgery on the wing, the embryo, the budding wing. The moment later was then I was in surgery as a medical student watching brain surgery and just pulled me in right away. In a moment, I knew that I wanted to do it. I also had, like in that same surgery, I had time to reflect. I was like, wow, my gosh, this is the person's like brain. This is like, their entire person, like all of their, a lot of who we are is in our brain, right? Our memories, our emotions, our aspirations, all that's right there. I'm like, this is all, I'm looking at it right here. And just, so that was sort of, one of those, again, moments that you kind of don't forget. Yeah, so people with spinal stenosis, what happens is they don't like to stand in one spot or to walk any distance, because with standing and walking, their back and their legs get achy and tired. And they get relief when they sit down. While that's coming up, he has spinal stenosis at between L2 and L3, which is above where he had the previous surgery. So sometimes somebody would have a fusion surgery, and then above the fusion, that area starts breaking down. It's somewhat because of the fusion, but also because of their genetics and different things too. So the fusion is not the only reason why that adjacent spot is getting worse.
So we'll go in through a very small tube, and you'll see that, and we'll clean it all out. I describe that like a rotor-rooter type surgery to take the pinching off the nerve. The lamina is this bone back here. So we'll put the tube down and we'll clean out some of that bone, get inside the spinal canal and clean it all out. So looking forward to showing you that as well today.
We'll mark an incision. This is usually about an 18 millimeter incision. So it's less than an inch. And we use that for 1, 2, and 3 level laminectomies. Usually if it's 4 levels, we'll make 2 separate incisions. So this is a guide wire here that we'll put down, kind of like that, to get down to the bone, X-ray. So that's in a good spot there, because I can usually tell where I am just by the way it feels. And then we keep on dilating, sequential dilation. Okay, so the guide wire came out already. Now all those dilators come out, and we've got a working channel that we can work down and do entire surgery through that port. Okay, I'm going to remove this remaining edge of lamina here up top. So almost there. Now we got this little spot still coming down this way. May have to work with switch hands again here, because sometimes in a small tube the angles are everything, and if we don't have the right angle, then we block ourselves. Okay, that looks clean out there. I think we're done. That will be the end of the decompression work here. Follow me there. We're saving backs one at a time here. So now I'm gonna go document my operative note to record what I just did. I've already talked to the family as well. I got to get out and talk to the family, let them know everything went well, etc., because they're anxiously waiting. So, and then I get back to the computer, get some charting, do my operative notes, put some orders in. I have to prescribe some pain medication typically, and then I got to get the next patient ready. So usually I do it, sometimes it's in a different order, but I'll stop by, see the next patient, say hi, see if they have any questions, check their paperwork, get their consent signed, put a mark on their back. So it's really just constantly kind of going. Even if I'm not there in the OR, then I come out and just keep on doing stuff. And usually by the time I get done, they're like, we're ready for you. Well, that wraps up a day in my life. So thank you for following me around, and I hope that was cool. See you next time.